G'day traders, Stacey Burke from Stacey Burke Trading. Thursday, April the 9th. Daily FX levels for the British pound crosses. Today we have the OPEC meetings happening. 7:30 a.m. New York time we have the ECB monetary policy. And 8:30 a.m. New York time we have Canadian unemployment rate and the US unemployment claims. Taking a look at our British pound Australian dollar 4-hour chart, we can see that that market has stayed auctioning sideways across the 2000 area box in a sideways range. We've just taken out stops from last week's peak formation lows, and we have pulled back and auctioned to new lows, still sitting above the upper half of that box, but certainly room for that to fall and possibly retest that 97.50 area. The market made new lows yesterday. We see a 12-hour pullback, not really having gone very far. We look at our 15-minute chart, and we can see that yesterday the market consolidated underneath of that 2,100 area before dropping down and then continuing to trend down lower throughout the night, pulling back into today's session. No real pullback until this morning's Asian session, where we went 1, 2, 3, pinning up to the 50 box. Since coming down underneath of the double zeros, we could see this double zero area act as a potential selling area today. If that market was to break through the double zeros, could certainly head back up to test the high of the day. And of course, we still have lots of room on the downside down to the 97.50 area in that 250 pip box. So currently this market is underneath of the double zeros. We do have 3 pins to the numbers there. This area could definitely act as a selling area. We see a sell set up off the high of the day, then an engulfment candle coming back underneath of the double zeros. We could see this market stop hunt back up and then head down towards testing the low of today. If this market was to break above double zeros, we could certainly see it layer to retest today's high, but still a fairly bearish setup on not only our 15-minute charts, but also that 4-hourly chart, possibly retesting the lows if the market was to find support in that 98, 9900 area. We could head back up towards testing that 2100 pip box. Our next pair is the pound Canadian. Again, this pair is going to have a lot of red news data tonight, probably possibly record-setting unemployment changes since the coronavirus effect. We see this market has found support initially off that 72.50 area earlier in the week, gone back up and tested that breakout area, which is now maybe a flip zone for highs. Since coming down from yesterday's session on our 15-minute chart, we can see the market broke out yesterday out of its high and low range. 1 push, 2 push, 3 pushes to the high before coming back and auctioning sideways underneath of 7,400. Currently we have stops beneath 50 and above 7,400. So this market may find support to stop hunt the high before maybe retesting down low again. So maybe coming back to hit the stops from the Asian shorts before rolling over. It is possible this market could find support before retesting the highs. I think we may see a retest of the highs coming off double zeros and possibly heading back to test yesterday's breakout traders. Pound Swiss, another pair. We saw a breakout yesterday from that falling 4-hour trend line. That market may find support around that 2000 area where we have that rising trend line. The market was in a consolidation, 3 lower peaks, it broke out, and again sitting on top of that 2000 area box. When we go to our 15-minute chart, we can see that that market went up to 50 this morning to stop hunt traders who were short before rolling over, 1 push, 2 push, 3 pushes, and falling down, testing the low of the day, which was the high of Tuesday. So again, this market may find support in this area but it's also very possible to come down and stop hunt lower to the double zeros before finding some kind of support in that area to retest back up into that high of the day area. Currently, this low area will be telltale to see if we get support or if that market indeed will fall towards the double zeros. We could find that major support area down lower, and from there, whether or not the market is able to find support for a retest or break through, pull back, and maybe retest yesterday's lows. Again tonight, red news data, so we may see this market also consolidate as we head into the New York session, but again, high and low in that 2,000 pip area may find support for this market. Pound yen. Yesterday we also saw this market break higher towards the 3,500 area box. One push, two push, three pushes over the course of this week. That market is now sitting on top of that breakout area. As to whether or not that support will hold and see this market move higher, we'll tell as we head into the Europe session. Currently, this market has broken above 3,500 after coming out of yesterday's breakout, breaking up this morning, falling back down below yesterday's high, now testing the low of the day. We may find support around that 50 area for a retest or a stop hunt high back up into traders that have shorted that 3,500 area, and then a retest back down towards yesterday's breakout trades. Again, if they stop hunt back up, we may look for a rollover down low. If this market was to work itself down into 50, we could see a retest of the high of today. Next up is our pound New Zealand. Again, this pair broke down earlier in the week and has sort of gone sideways in a trading range now between that 750 and 2,500 area box. Yesterday we saw that market have a break in a falling trend line, consolidating and shifting up into yesterday's Asian session before consolidating in a 50 pip box and then breaking out in the US session and dropping down 150 pips. That market has since pulled back above the double zeros and now auctioned back to the low of the day. This market may be finding some support in this lower box area at 2,600. If this market was able to find support above that area, we may find a retest of today's high and then yesterday's high, or retesting the high of today and rolling over off the zeros back towards the low of the week. Currently, where median price is around that 600. We'll watch to see as we head into London if they're working into this lower area or if they're breaking to stop hunt traders who were short in the Asian session. And lastly, our British pound. Again, we see this market creeping in towards the peak from last week's highs. Interesting, this market could see a breakthrough into that upper 24,800 box area. Or we may see this market roll over to retest the lower 2250 area and possibly the low of the week. Yesterday we saw this market find support around 2300 before moving up 100 pips to the double zeros. Now this morning retesting that area and before dropping down underneath and now retesting the low of the day. Again, we're still inside of yesterday's trading range. This 2350 area could act as support for a continuation of that move up, or we may find the market retesting that 2400 and rolling over to test yesterday's low. Again, currently we're in between the highs and the lows. We talked about this yesterday. Sticking between the highs and the lows, you can see yesterday they worked the low, worked the low, worked the low before shifting. And again, if we go back and just have a quick peek at our 15-minute charts, we see the market consolidating off the numbers before breaking down on most of these pairs. British yen, again, median price yesterday 3,400. The question is, were they working the low or working the high? They came off 3,400 before moving up 100 pips. And again today, this double zero area could act as resistance for a move back down towards the lows. So hopefully you got some value out of today's video, traders. Keep it simple, stick to the high and the low, focus on the numbers. Again, closing on a quote, Jesse Livermore, "There's nothing new in Wall Street. There can't be, because speculation is as old as the hills. Whatever happens in the stock market today has happened before, and it will happen again." Nothing new under the sun. Traders, stick to basics, stick to your trading plan. There's going to be a high and a low today. There's going to be market opens that we see the market move and hunt or break out of an area.
Hi traders, it's Stacey Burke from Stacey Burke Trading. If you haven't done so, please head over to my website at staceyburketrading.com. I create updates on almost a daily basis, and I would love for you to receive them. Just click on the blog. If you want to enter your name and your email address, I'll send you my free audio program, the 7-Step Daily Routine for High Performance Traders. This is essential knowledge for all traders in all markets, and this is for helping traders to master the market with discipline, confidence, and a winning mindset. I appreciate all your feedback and comments. As always, traders, stay disciplined, and may the markets go with you.